Check, check, 1, 2. Look like a little country, some rock and roll and blues. 'Cause we sure love playing for good people like you. Let me know if you can hear me. Check, check, 1, 2.
Welcome to Music Local and Sustainable, the radio show that features discussions with and the music of local musicians. I am your host, Dave Lake. Tonight, we are in the studio talking with CeCe Witt. You probably know her as the lead singer for the band Lynn Avenue, but she is starting to become known as a singer-songwriter. Welcome, CeCe Witt.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it appears that your hometown is Savannah.
It is. Born and raised.
So is Savannah the little big city town?
It is.
You really paint quite an affectionate picture of Savannah.
I do. That's a song that I've always wanted to write. Finally got around to finding the inspiration to write that song. So I was pretty pleased with it.
And what was the inspiration to write it?
Just the different experiences that I've had living in Savannah and the people, and just like little moments in the checkout line at the grocery store. Someone wants to tell me their life story and I don't even know who they are, and that makes me smile. That's the things that you get living in a small town that you don't really get in bigger places.
The advice that you gave was that when you're in the checkout line and somebody comes up to you, you simply smile and wave.
Yep. You never know who it's going to be.
And the fact that you have to be careful of everything you say, because we know everybody.
Yep. Ain't that the truth?
Oh, this is several years ago now. A friend of mine was down at Hilton Head for a meeting, and she came over here, and we were just walking down the street. It wasn't like 5 minutes before someone came up and said hi and shook hands, and we walked on. And about 5 blocks later, same thing happened. She looks at me. She's from Indianapolis, Indiana. She looked at me like, does this always happen? Well, not maybe always happen, but it happens quite a bit.
Yep.
And of course, we don't have skyscrapers, stadium, or subway trains, but we have a lot of things like back creek fishing, pecan pie, front porch picking, and a way of life.
Yep.
Do you do much front porch picking?
A little bit. I used to more when I didn't play as much professionally. Now I play a lot, just gigging out, so I don't really get a chance to do that as much anymore.
So would you like to do that song?
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. I take it you're not from around here. You're not too sure on where to go. But if you're planning on staying a while, well, there's a few things you need to know. Nothing's farther than a few miles away. We all know everybody, so be careful what you say. And never know who you'll see in line at the grocery store. So you better just smile and wave. Sure, we don't have skyscrapers, stadiums, or subway trains, but we've got lots of things. We've got back creek fishing and pecan pie. Front porch picking is a way of life. Your best friend only lives 2 doors down. We wave, we smile, we go to church. We love to laugh and sometimes we curse, but that's what it's like when you live in a little big city town. In the summer when it gets hot, close to 103, we whirl our windows down and cruise around, sipping on sweet tea. Nobody's in a hurry, we enjoy the little things, stopping on the roadside for some peaches and sunflower seeds. Sure, we don't have skyscrapers, stadiums, or subway trains, but we've got lots of things. pig fishing and pecan pie. Front porch picking is a way of life. Your best friend only lives 2 doors down. We wave, we smile, we go to church. We love to laugh and sometimes we curse, but that's what it's like when you live. That's what it's like when you live in a little big city town. In a little big city town. In a little big city town.
That just has to be one of the favorite songs that people ask for a lot.
I think so. A lot of people have been asking about that one so far. It's only been out a few weeks, so, you know.
Now, could you tell us a little bit about your musical journey to this point?
My musical journey to this point. Well, I started playing guitar when I was 13. I joined my first band when I was 14, and that's sort of the rough foundation of what is Lynn Avenue today, because our guitar player / songwriter, Patrick Ellington, he's been in the band since the very beginning with me. And then I just fell in love with that. First it started kind of like as just a project or like a garage band status kind of thing, and then it just kind of progressed, and I became alive when I started playing music. I came into myself. I've just been following that ever since.
You've been playing for now
10 years.
10 years? So that means you've not been a teenager for about 4 or 5 years. And so I'm really curious is, what was the inspiration for such a wistful song about memory that is Down on Memory Lane?
Actually, Down Memory Lane and two or three of the other tracks on my EP I actually wrote in high school. These songs were songs that I kept in my back pocket for several years, and I just never got a chance to record them until now. And then Little Big City Town was one that I finished recently. And so Down Memory Lane is a song that I wrote with my friend in high school right before we went off to college. And so it kind of talks about some of our favorite memories that we shared together.
Ah, so it's memories in advance. Because you were thinking of a time later on when you'd be thinking back to the memories of things you were doing, but really they were the things you were doing. Right,
because we knew that she was going to go off to college and I was going to stay here and go to college, so we knew that we were separating and that things were going to be changing and we would have a lot more space between us than we normally would be used to. So that's a song that is very special to me. I'll play that one for you if you'd like.
Certainly.
Take my hand and walk down this lane, the one that they call memory. It's filled with the scent of past times calling your name. And if you don't mind, I'd like to press rewind and take one last look again. I see visions of you and me, smiling with our new class rings, going 25 over on Anderson Street, just to hit that bump at the perfect speed. I'd hide my feet in Converse shoes and you'd say, what have I got to lose? Doing anything they told us not to do. Smoking just because you could. And please don't forget, at times when I'm far from you, drive down this old avenue, and you'll see two teenage girls driving way too fast, singing songs as loud as they can, sticking beers out on Friday nights, laughing as they hold their sides. That's where you'll find me, down that lane called memory. We ate birthday cake on Christmas Day. We dove head first into the waves of Tyree, Tampa, or wherever we could get, on a full tank of gas and no regrets. The wind whipped our hair into our face until you cut yours off in spite of what's his name, that ex of yours who made you cry. But I was always there to make you smile, and don't you ever forget the times when I'm far from you. Drive down this old avenue, and you'll see two teenage girls driving way too fast, singing songs as loud as they can, sneaking beers out on Friday nights, laughing as they hold their sides. That's where you'll find me, down that lane called memory. Times when I'm far from you, drive down this old avenue, and you'll see two teenage girls driving way too fast, singing songs as loud as they can, sneaking beers out on Friday nights, laughing as they hold their sides. That's where you'll find me, down that lane called memory.
Wonderful anticipation of separation. I presume that some of this is confessional, sneaking beers out on Friday nights.
A little bit. I can admit it several years later.
There must be a statute of limitations for driving too fast down Anderson Street.
We tested it, that's for sure.
And where is that bump?
Well, I'm not sure if it's there anymore. It's been a while since I've driven down Anderson, but it was right before, I believe, like B Road, trying to get on Truman Parkway. It was like a few blocks back.
So heading east?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I encourage the listeners all to go out and try to find that. On the radio, we're not supposed to do what's called a call to action, but trying to find a particular bump on Anderson, I don't think will violate any FCC rules. You're a fan of Converse shoes?
I am. In high school, I used to wear them religiously. I have 6 or 7 different colors of pairs of shoes. So you could say I'm a fan.
Take a last look again. I find that phrase very interesting because last look is last look, but now you're taking a last look again, as in memories are constantly repeating. So there is never really a last look if you have the memory. A last look again.
True. Yeah, it's just kind of, that's what makes it special, this song, to me, because that's exactly what it is. It reminds me of some of the memories that I shared with my friend, and it's supposed to bring my listeners happiness, maybe because they can relate to, I think anyone can relate to maybe having a close friend and having good memories with someone. Yeah, definitely something that you would go back to and listen to again.
And you said that friend left and went off to college?
Yes.
Did they ever come back?
She did. She actually goes to the same school as me now, but I'm about to graduate.
And you can listen to that song together?
Yeah. I actually gave her the album right when it came out, and she loved it. That was really special for us.
So the song evokes fond memories.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This Birthday Cake on Christmas Day. What's that about?
I was born on Christmas. So eating birthday cake on Christmas Day is kind of an unusual thing. It's kind of silly, but so to everyone else it's just kind of a silly lyric, but it actually does have a meaning.
Was this written late in your high school period because you refer to class rings, or were you anticipating that as well?
Well, at our high school, we get our class rings our junior year. And this song was written right near the end of our senior year, right when we were about to graduate. We'd already had our rings, and, that's a really cool moment, like when you get your class ring. That was kind of a big deal for us at the time.
And I'm sure now, as a singer, smoking is not on your list of things you commonly do.
Oh, no, that was her, not me.
Oh, that was her.
Smoking just because you could, not me.
Ah, I see. I'd have to listen to that lyric a little closer. Tonight, we are in the studio talking with CeCe Witt. What are some of your inspirations for songwriting?
I'm really inspired by people around me and their emotions and their stories. Like, a lot of my songs that I've written thus far have been about other people and their experiences. For example, my other song on that EP is called It's Complicated. And I wrote that one about a friend of mine who really liked this guy, and he kind of just kept stringing her along. And so when people would ask, like, how are you guys doing? She'd be like, well, it's complicated. And so that's where the title of that one comes from. A lot of my inspiration is from just people in my life and my own experiences. I don't fabricate made-up things very often. Well,
I'm hoping that there's at least one song that's fabricated on this album.
Yes. That's why I said what I said. Yes.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
It really did. It caught me off guard when I was trying to listen to it.
It's definitely the odd track on the album.
Yeah. It appears to be like a song noir about a woman's violent response to physical abuse.
Yeah.
What was the origin of that song?
Well, I know someone who was abused, and this song was kind of inspired by that. It's about a girl getting revenge on her abuser, which obviously this is not real. It's just a song that just kind of happened. It's a little bit darker of a theme, but it was along with some of those songs that I had in the past that I wanted to put on the album just to show the spectrum of my writing.
Well, it's certainly quite graphic.
Yeah, especially like the first line, regret flowing fast like blood on the pavement. But it's in no way true, obviously.
Well, and she's shaken, she's broken, she can't tell her secret. And in the end of the song, she gets away with it, apparently. Although she leaves town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you like to give that a try?
Sure. I don't get to play this one very often because it's not exactly the song that you want to hear when you're out drinking or having a good time.
I don't know. I mean, Folsom Prison Blues.
True.
You know.
That's true.
So, yeah.
I guess it's all about a good beat, right?
Yeah, it's all about a good beat. It is a very sad song, I have to admit.
But a lot of my musician friends are like people that are really into music, I suppose. Like, that's their favorite song on the album. Surprisingly, I wasn't sure what responses I would get to it. So it's always interesting to know what song is people's favorite. Here it goes. Regret flowing fast like blood on the pavement. She's shaking, she's broken. She can't tell her secret. She let them all down by proving them right. Can she ever take back what she's done tonight? The shower steam chases the tears from her face. This memory she knows she can never erase. Evidence
as quickly as washed down through the drain. Those clothes that she'll burn to destroy all the stains. The scene is flashing inside of her mind, her thoughts flooding over as she rewinds to his hand around her wrist as she fled from his fist. Somebody please help her, there's blood on her hands. This could be a means to a terrible end. Love can be a terrible crime, and somebody has to do the time. Her face in the mirror asks, what have I done? Ruin your life with the fire of a gun. There's no looking back, no time to decide. You have no more options, you're stuck on this ride. The scene is flashing inside of her mind, her thoughts flooding over as she rewinds to his hand around her wrist as she fled from his fist. Somebody please help her, there's blood on her hands. This could be a means to a terrible end. Love can be a terrible crime, and somebody has to do the time. He blackened her eyes, now there's a bullet in his chest. He paid for his crime and been laid to rest. Now she's gone, she's fled the scene. Goodbye, rest in peace.
Love can be a terrible crime, and somebody has to do the time. I'm always interested to see where lines come from.
For me, most of the time, I'm just singing, and that's what comes out. It's a moment of just real inspiration. I don't sit down when I'm approaching a song and I'm like, this is what I'm going to write. I just play, and whatever comes out is what I put down, and then I tweak it later.
The chorus is also very vivid in terms of the abuse. I mean, that's where it clearly indicates what she was going through and how she felt she couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. I kind of talked to her when writing this song. She kind of helped write this one a little bit. She kind of would provide me with things. She liked to write some too. So she kind of would write poems and different things. And so she gave me a poem one day, and I used that as inspiration for this one. She really liked the song when I finished it.
You can't go back on the decision. There's no looking back. There was no time to decide. It had to be done. This is the only way I could do it.
Yep.
And there's no going back.
Yep.
Talk to us about your songwriting process.
My songwriting
Where
process.
does it begin?
I wrote a lot of songs sitting in the back of my math class. Believe it or not. I would sit in math class. I guess it's because, like, to me, math class was, like, not really that interesting. But I always found inspiration just sitting there, and, like, all of a sudden just, like, lines would just come to me, and I just write them down. Or I write little lines down when I'm driving. I'll record it on my phone, do a voice recording, just sing a little line or just talk something. But a lot of times I'll just be at home, and I'll pull out my guitar, and I'll just get this feeling, and I just start playing, and then I just find a melody that I like, and boom, a song happens.
So apparently we should encourage you to take more math classes.
I suppose so.
Sounds like that very often it's the line that comes first.
Yes, I'm a lot more lyrics than music. When I write songs for Lynn Avenue with Patrick, he usually is leader on melodies and music, and I'm, more lyrics. So we complement each other in that way.
Now, are most of your songs then co-written with Patrick?
A lot of them are. but none of the ones on my EP. This was kind of, I want to do this on my own, little solo project, just for myself.
Having heard Lynn Avenue, the majority of the things you do are covers.
Yeah.
As a singer-songwriter, do you do the same thing? Most of the stuff is covers and an occasional original song goes in?
Yes. When we're performing the standard 3 to 4 hour sets, we don't fill it with original music. But when we get the opportunity to be an opening act or to play shorter sets, normally we like to take advantage of playing our original songs as much as possible. And we're trying to actually embrace that even more so now. We've been looking for more kind of songwriter events that we can partake in. That's kind of why I suppose that I'm doing what I'm doing, kind of trying to push it a little bit farther in any way that I can.
Now, the singer-songwriter series, which you've already participated in and will be participating in again, as well as the songwriter event that they had as part of the Thursday Opry at Trinity, those were all done as a solo artist. Has Lynn Avenue been able to play in the more listening room environment?
Not as often as we wish we could. There's been a few venues that have been opening up their doors to that kind of thing. There's a place in Bluffton called the Roasting Room, and we've just been booked there doing an opening songwriter listening room thing there. So we're really looking forward to that kind of thing. And we've been traveling more, so we're hoping to find more venues where we can do that.
The singer-songwriter event has moved out to the Tybee Post Theater, and the Tybee Post Theater also does a Tybee City Limits.
Yes. We did get a chance to perform at that. That was a lot of fun. We weren't really quite sure what to expect for that the first go-around. So if we get an opportunity to perform that again, I think it would be a lot better and a lot more original music. Because I think we did kind of half and half, like half covers, half originals.
So when you write a song with Patrick, that's Patrick Ellington, co-founder of Lynn Avenue.
Yes.
Do you bring him an idea and then you sit down and work on the music, or does he occasionally bring you the music and say, write something?
Yeah, it works both ways. And he writes lyrics too. A lot of times he starts a song and then I finish it. Or sometimes I really just need help writing a bridge or something, and I'm like, hey, please help me, or like help me improve this music part of it, and he kind of puts his little spin on it. Our writing styles are different, and so when I recorded this EP, I wanted people to be able to hear the difference between what CC Witt sounds like versus what Lynn Avenue sounds like. So there's no like drums or electric guitar on the EP, but I did play all the percussion, so that was a lot of fun getting to do that. Because
in Lynn Avenue, besides singing, you do rhythm and guitar.
Yes.
But never percussion. That's right.
No. I do play some tambourine, but I don't know if that counts.
So what percentage of your time do you want to spend between being a solo artist and being part of Lynn Avenue?
I feel like I divvy it up pretty well. I dedicate my weekends to Lynn Avenue. Pretty much all of priority goes to Lynn Avenue, but during the week, solo acts are a lot more preferred in different venues for various reasons. So I perform about 5 nights a week on average between Lynn Avenue and as a solo artist. So I actually perform a little bit more than the band does, but it's fun either way. I like it either way.